Hello, welcome to Quackalope. Thank you for being here. Today we're bringing you an unboxing of Vampire the Masquerade.
Chapters and all of the expansions.
Vampire the Masquerade chapter. Shira, are you moderately excited or extremely excited?
Overly excited. I have been wanting to get this back in hand since we had to send it off.
Tiles and tiles of cool scenes and locations.
Rulebook and storybook.
Yeah, we have lots and lots of little standees that get used throughout the campaign. Of course, some miniatures, some nice inserts, and this is the key.
Don't ruin where they're at.
Bindings and bindings of little books. What makes Vampire the Masquerade so unique, Shira, is...
Why did you grab 12? Weird one to just grab. What makes Vampire the Masquerade chapter so unique is that they have these little chapter books for every scenario that you play. And so when you go through it, you're going to have the different characters that are involved in that scenario, the different events, the action tokens, investigation, and the dialogue that happens. And as you turn pages, it allows you to read what is happening without knowing what is happening on the next page, which was something that was so important for me because I am a very verbal visual reader and I tend to dart my eyes down and see what the result of the test is.
She cheats.
And so this, by saying, you read D7, read D8, it gives you choices and then you have to turn the page so you don't know what actually happens.
One of the first games that actually immersed you in the storytelling elements of it. We played through probably 8 chapters in the prototype that we had, or the early copy we had. Now that we have it in hand, I believe there's something like, what are we sitting at? We're sitting at 20 plus chapters?
Chapters 28, no, 41.
41, holy cow. 41 chapters.
And then there's expansion pack. Look, so this is the table of contents. There is the prologues. Then these are the chapters. Number 1, 18, 28, and then 41. Then there's side quests that you get to go on, and then there's expansion pack chapters, and then there's feeding events and Alex's inventory. I love the feeding events. Where's those? Page 167. Oh my goodness, it was so much fun because you're actually vampires and you have to feed! You have to continue eating!
Yeah, she always wanted to hunt the humans as opposed to like go get some rodents down by the dock.
Junkies, social workers, the prostitutes, the doctors.
So we've actually already seen all of this. We'll have B-roll that we're already showing you that makes it all look beautiful and gorgeous. We're excited to display it, but what we really need to grab, Shira, is these expansion packs, because those are the things that you and I actually haven't checked out very much. The copy that we had only, I think, had 1 expansion pack with it.
I'm gonna start with the dice.
Now, full disclosure to those of you out there, this is a game that was sent to us by the publisher. We're not currently doing any other contract work with the publisher, but we have done some work on Werewolf the Apocalypse in the past. We did have that prototype. So keep that in mind with our coverage. However, everything we've done for Vampire the Masquerade, we have genuinely been ecstatic and excited. These are very nice.
Those are going to dent our table.
Yeah, those will absolutely dent our table.
They need a dice tray.
I like them
You do.
so much. Metal dice are just glorious. They feel so good.
Is there an order to these expansion packs?
I don't think so. I think they're just expansion packs. So let's see here.
And then there's miniatures.
This is the Ministry expansion pack. So here we have the add-on to Vampire the Masquerade chapters offers 2 exciting chapters, including the Ministry and a new playable character in the base game. Now, what's cool about some of these expansions is they actually mix in at different points in the game.
Yeah.
So you can't play as her from 0.
You have to access and unlock.
You have to access them by coming across it and then doing that side quest and then getting access to that new character. So let's take a look at who she is. Opening us up here, we have a few maps here, and then we have Melissa Santos.
She represents the Ministry.
So much good flavor text in the back here. We've got the miniature right there. We've got some standees. We got chapter N1 and N2, and hopefully throughout the campaign, we'll probably just include all of these right off the bat. and just see what we can actually run into and encounter as we're playing through. Who are you the most excited to play at the moment?
I don't know, because you worked through the prologue a lot more, and then you thought that it was going to be for me, and you ended up picking a character.
I gave you a more aggressive character.
Yeah, you did. And I enjoyed increasing my stats, but I now want to I want to play through the prologue with you and get introduced to all the characters' backstory, so I know it a lot more.
La Sombra.
This looks so cool, though.
He looks awesome. He looks like a complete gangster.
Yeah, he does.
This is Edward Harvey. Again, a few more little expansion books here. Some nice thick ones, some extra characters. Edward Harvey grew up on the streets of New York, but his sharp mind and ruthless ambition secured him a place studying law at Harvard. His tuition fees were paid for by his connected friends, and after he graduated, he worked for the mob, helping to launder money and legitimize their business interests. He was also not afraid to get his hands dirty and did not leave room when it came to blackmail, extortion, and worse. Very nice. He seems like a completely dark character, and I kind of want to play.
Yeah, you're going to want to play this one too.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
This looks like the assassin type dude.
Yes, it does, with his guns blazing.
Banu
Hakim.
I
feel like the name sounded really familiar. We might have.
This might be one of the ones that this might be the only one that we actually had before, because the artwork looks familiar as well.
With his guns.
Oh man, looks absolutely epic. So this is a campaign-based game, but what's cool about this as well is it's not all fighting and skirmish.
Not at all.
A lot of Vampire the Masquerade chapters is actually dealing with the narrative and the interaction that you have amongst other people at the table, like amongst the people that you're playing the game around. It's based off of an RPG system, which many of you are familiar with, but the core crux of it is that you have to figure out who's on your side, who's playing nice with you, who's against you, and how to read the room correctly, whether you need to attack early or go ahead and sleuth your way through. We had some missions where we didn't do a single bit of fighting.
Correct. We talked our way through, and the problem,
sleuthed our way through.
And if you don't watch your tone, you actually get like punished by it. These are painted miniatures. I thought you were gonna like these.
And these are every character painted?
I believe so, because then we have the NPCs over here.
Yeah.
That's Banu Hakim.
Looks awesome. Looks like they have a nice simple wash. I like that here they actually did like the ghostly gray. Nothing underneath it.
Is it just one tray of them?
Just one tray of them. These are all of our playable characters though, as core miniatures.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, they look good. It looks like they actually have quite a few coats for like hand painted miniatures.
Yeah.
Not perfect in every regard. So there are things that you and I might want to go through and touch up just a touch, if we're being nitpicky.
Yeah.
But some of them look really, really good.
These ones are going to be the NPCs, and they're not going to be painted, so we can compare it.
Okay. Why are they not painted?
I don't know. Miniatures don't have as much weight as I want them to have. They're a little lightweight, in my opinion. But yeah, these are all the NPCs.
Nice. You know what we could do to fix that? If you really, because you like metal minis and stuff, we could just take a washer and you just glue a washer to the bottom of them.
Yeah.
And they'll
I just like the feel of like it being heavier.
Yeah, we can actually make these heavier pretty easily. If you want them to have a little bit more weight. Those are little rats.
Oh.
So these are all the little like NPCs and people we can play as. Okay.
Non-playable characters.
Non-playable. What do you think?
So excited.
Are you excited about it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What was your favorite? Why did this game hook you where other campaign games haven't in the same way? Because this one, you were upset we had to mail it on.
I was. It hooked me. Those chapter books are really, it is such a cool system for me, for someone who really reads ahead. And the narrative, the story driven. I mean, I'm young. I grew up on Twilight, and so the vampire era was kind of my thing.
Sure.
I really enjoyed that story. I like the thought of these creatures who feed on blood and have to hide in the daytime and come out at night.
Like me.
Yeah, you're a vampire. Yeah, you feed on blood. Do you have something to tell me?
Not often.
And
it's not kosher.
So I like the theme and the setting of it. And then additionally, I just liked how immersive it felt. I enjoyed additionally the mechanics and the leveling up with the characters that I got to do. You get different stats, and you each have a stat card. And so even if you play the same character and the next time, you can choose different things to get better at and to level up in. And so it doesn't always feel the exact same way. So
the campaign that we're starting one day soon.
yeah.
Who's drawing your attention?
What about that one?
That's actually, so this is an interesting thing. This is not a real character.
Wow.
Gabe Tremblay is a universal, like you can build your own character. That's why they put the guy and the girl on it. It's because this is a visage of an NPC, like of a generic character build.
I believe I played this one
You did.
last time.
I thought you'd enjoy him because he was
Thomas
violent.
Chartrand. I did.
And I think I was playing her, and she was dealing a lot more with manipulation, negotiation, like using blood magic.
Honestly, the ones that are drawing me are these two.
Oh, violent, dark, and hidden. Do you want to choose one to read the flavor text of?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll end the video with some flavor text.
Oh, I remember the Nosferatu, so I'm going to read this one. Okay. Luciana Ricci. A renowned opera singer during the Cultural Revolution of the 60s, Luciana Ricci was poised to become the voice of the artistic renewal.
I see it. Renowned opera singer. Not what I had in mind.
Voice of the art was Luciana Ricci was poised to become the voice of the artistic renewal of her generation, walking home from an especially triumphant representation.
It's a girl? Okay.
You know, you interrupting me every 5 words
I'm sorry.
does not make it easy to read it.
She has been a vampire for a long time.
Here,
She's
should we do this?
a little...
There. Now you can study it and I can still read
Put
it.
it down. She's a little rotten. She's just a little corroded.
Walking home from an especially triumphant representation, she heard the pleas of a beggar hidden in the nearby dark alcove. She ignored them, but the dark figure followed, relentless and persistent. Exhausted by the disgusting nature of the city and its people, Luciana confronted the man, being singularly vitriolic and cruel. Irony and punishment was ever a vice of her sire. His fangs sunk into her neck, making her part of the ugliness she so despised in the city.
Oh.
The curse of the Nosferatu took her beauty and her voice. Yet she was resilient and willful. Luciana adapted and eventually thrived in her new existence, though mirrors were forever more a painful reminder of what she had become. Shying away from the brutal Sabbat-choked Montreal of that era, she found new purpose among the Camarilla as an informant from behind enemy lines. Her luxurious past was replaced by a solitary existence in abandoned corners of the sewers. Her mastery of the burgeoning metro system and unparalleled knowledge of the expanding Montreal underground shielded her from the sun, the Sabbat, and unsuspecting citizens who would gawk at her hideous visage. Yeah, you're an unsuspecting citizen who's just gawking at her hideous visage. Hiding during the Night of Ashes, she was relieved to see a growing Camarilla presence in her city. Keeping an eye out for Sabbat survivors, she was shocked to discover a priest of the fallen sect lurking around her sewers, and even more so when he lunged at her savagely. And there we go into the prologue.
Now, what's really cool about the way the prologue works in this game, and then we'll end the video actually, because Shira's probably going to want to do this, every one of these characters, as it teaches you the game, has their own solo thing you play through. So I did that without you before. So I've played through the solo player here, 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 here,
All
and
7?
here. Yep. Because it teaches you the game. So it's teaching you the mechanics of fighting with him, teaching you the mechanic of magic and blood magic with her, negotiation skills over here, like detective work here. So you learn these little bits of the game by playing the game, which for me is always the thing I'm looking for when it comes to a campaign game.
Yeah. We don't have anything else to do today, right?
Ooh. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Whatever the case, though, whatever you do,
Remember to do the important
don't
thing.
get bit by a vampire.
Go play games.
Oh.
Don't do anything else. Play games.
Yeah.
See you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.